Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, The Science of Mind Health. I'm your host, Daniel, and today we are joined by Dr. Choi, who is a very inspirational figure in the mental health community and neurodiverse community. And she has established a company called Oasis Place, which helps people with neurodiversity. So, hi, Dr. Choi. Thank you for joining me today.
Daniel, good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me in your podcast. I'm really excited to be here.
Me as well. So just to start, I have a few questions here. What does self-regulation mean from a psychological perspective?
Hmm. So maybe I take it a little bit broader. So self-regulation actually is our ability to understand and manage one's behavior, emotions, and reactions to situations. Yeah. And this includes what we term as cognitive self-regulation that will help us plan, focus, problem solve. Behaviorally, the self-regulation helps us to manage our impulses, our reactions, and the emotional self-regulation, one that you may hear more frequently, is about managing our feelings, right? Um, so self-regulation is actually a very important component for learning.
Okay.
Would you like me to expand a little bit on
Yeah.
that learning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. So when we learn, it will help when the learner is able to stay focused, right? So in your classroom situation, whether you are a young learner or even as an adult learner, you will hear your instructor or your teacher say, sit still. So staying focused actually is what they are hoping to have, because when you're focused, you're able to listen. Okay. On the aspect of emotion, it's actually to manage reaction, impulsivity, right? In terms of learning, we need to learn as a team, not just individually. So the social learning context, the sharing, when you do teamwork, that's where it comes in again, right? And definitely we would have experienced memory, yeah, having memory encoding, remembering your facts. All these are part and parcel of self-regulation.
And on that note, you mentioned about learning. So why do neurodiverse learners often struggle with self-regulation?
So, you know, more so than typical learners, self-regulation becomes crucial because as a neurodiverse learners, maybe if I can step just a little bit aside and just um, expand a little bit on neurodiverse. Yeah, it suggests that the brain, which is neurologically, learns diversely or differently. Okay, and many of these neurodivergent learners um, tends to have a higher tendency of being stressed because they may have different ability to respond or react to sensory inputs. Yeah, you've heard that before. So for self-regulation, for a neurodiverse learner, it is fundamental or a foundational skill that will help them manage their intellectual ability, their emotion, as well as their behavioral process. Yeah.
How can movement support focus and attention in children with ADHD or autism?
So one of neurodiverse conditions is ADHD. Yeah. The question is through ADHD. The audience or you may know neurodiverse can also have autism, dyslexia, and others. But let's come back to ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactivity is that ADHD reference disease in this instance. So these individuals tend to have, basically, we look at their body, if you like, they tend to actually body and mind. They can be hyperactive. And there's a category of ADHD, actually, they may be low in activity. And then that's what we call combined. Coming back to movement though, both movement and physical activity will help the ADHD individuals by increasing something called brain chemicals. You may have heard of the name of dopamine, neuroepinephrine, all these are technical terms, but you may have heard of terms like dopamine hit. These brain chemicals actually can go either improve their attention, their mood, their emotional regulation, or these movement or exercise can also reduce their hyperactivity and impulsivity, ultimately to help them calm the nervous system down. And when your nervous system is calm, then you are able to be present, and draw on the learning, or what we call the intellectual part where you want to use for learning.
You mentioned about attention spans. Do you think that the newer generations have a sort of shorter attention span, maybe due to scrolling on their phones or playing video games or stuff like this?
That is the risk that is the research are constantly trying to capture, because as we all know, the strength of digital is supposed to speed things up. We all are familiar now with AI, why they collect, they stack, they compress. So yes, I believe it heightens the risk of when you have unmanaged screen time, where the brain is on overdrive and not resting to reflect, to rewire the information that you're stacking on. It does.
All right. What kinds of movement activities are most effective for calming or refocusing?
Well, generally speaking, and this will be different types of exercises, aerobic exercises, right? Because aerobic ones like running, like cycling, swimming, and in a way, when you were doing your basketball challenge, that's aerobic. These heart rates, what it does is it stimulates these group of brain chemicals, what we call the neurotransmitters, so that it can enhance then the attention and reduce the hyperactivity. There is also strength training, right? The weightlifting, the body exercise, because this will train the body and the mind to concentrate, right? To build impulse control. Then there are activities that will help balance, coordinate, and this can be walking on that gym beam, you've seen that very focused, even hopping on one foot. These improve their body awareness, sense of space, again, always reducing restlessness and also improving focus. Not to forget also the smaller group of muscles, what we call finer motor or sensory activities, as simple as playing catch a ball. If you think of younger, but even to older individuals, that is motor activity. They promote hand-eye coordination. They promote attention to detail. Yeah. And a quieter type of movement, you may be familiar with mindfulness. There are mindfulness-based type of movement that is yoga, tai chi, where they both combine the physical movement with breathing, and all this helps calm. And that key word comes back, regulate the emotion. Okay, so based on preference, you can all be tailored to individual needs or motivation.
Can physical activity help manage emotional outbursts or anxiety in learners?
That's a big yes. Okay, the big yes is it significantly help emotions. It helps the stress, it helps the frustration, and I would dare say, and evidence does suggest that is especially so for the neurodivergent individual. Yeah, again, it comes back to neurobiology. Yeah, it comes back to how our body is naturally created and made. It releases these chemicals, the endorphins, the mood enhancers, right? What they increase, they can also decrease. They decrease the stress hormones. Okay, so with the right combination, this will help promote emotional stability or what you said, stress and frustration. Okay, and again, for our neurodivergent learners, their heightened response to sensory challenges, these regular routine physical activity will provide a natural outlet. Yeah, this natural outlet of releasing pent-up energy, managing overwhelming feelings that it's not easy to control. Okay, but I want to stress very related to movement and exercise is the exercise improve sleep. Sleep quality is underestimated. Exercise, sleep quality, or sometimes referenced as sleep hygiene, right, is a very powerful tool. And this powerful tool ultimately, as a student like yourself, even like myself, it increase our overall learning outcomes, right? Everybody value and treasure learning outcomes. Yeah.
You mentioned about exercise and sleep, but are there any other strategies that benefit both neurotypical and neurodivergent children?
I strongly believe and evidence suggests that social connection is another key part of supporting a neurodivergent individual. Because if we take autism as a condition, we know that they are challenged social, emotionally, as well as they require routines to help regulate them. So social emotional connection, in simple language, is relationship. Yeah, and relationship in simple language is friendship. So do reach out. Every neurotypical, every individual, actually, neurotypical, neurodivergent, we are social beings. They may find it difficult and not natural to them, but many neurodivergent individuals have the ability to also learn the social rules. Malaysia is a great example, Daniel. We have so many cultures, and we have to learn how to salam when we visit our Malay friends for Hari Raya. We need to kongsi, right? So all these are social cues, yeah? So one of the key things I would say to add is the social, emotional well-being.
All right. What practical tips would you give parents or teachers looking to use movement more intentionally?
It's a very old adage, Daniel, and I also share this with my young ones at home and the older ones. Exercise really is a universal tool, irregardless of ability. It helps us increase our happy hormones. It helps us focus. It helps us stress manage. So movement definitely helps not only the young, it traverses age span. And if you look at the life cycle, you will notice as individuals get older physically, they are also at risk of reducing their movements for all some similar reasons. And movement is a very important universal tool for our well-being.
All right. Um, I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it, Dr. Choi.
Daniel, thank you again. I'm really pretty honored and wishing you all the best in your future undertakings.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.